Here we are once again, episode 20 of Hill Talk Sports. It's been a lot of episodes. I ain't know we're at 20 right now. I'm TJ Hill. I'm joined
Yeah.
tonight by our producer, Lewis. Hello, sir. How you doing tonight? Scott is
Good. How you doing?
good to see you. Scott is doing some other things tonight. He's busy with the family, taking care of a couple of things. Back with us next week. So, a lot to discuss tonight's episode. Free agent frenzy here, man. Free agency starts on Wednesday, but a lot of moves are being made already. I was a little nervous going into this week because the Browns were not making any moves whatsoever or making rumors or have moves or anything of that nature. And then they went out and they signed Amari Cooper. Well, they traded for him and they got him for pretty much nothing, man. They traded 6 round picks and a fifth round pick or something like that to get this guy. Now, I don't was he a number one at Dallas, number one receiver, or like maybe number one, A1, maybe something like that. But I think here in Cleveland he'll be a number one receiver. Um, he can still be a
No
deep threat
doubt.
for you. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. With our receiving room, he can still be a deep threat to pull a safety or corners. So me and Scott had a discussion before about there are no corners or safeties out there that are scared of anybody in our receiving room. Now we have somebody that they could be scared of. Then there's the big elephant in the room, Deshaun Watson. I got mixed feelings about this. I'm hearing rumors from different people that he is going to come here, that he's just out there making his rounds just to make it look good, but he ultimately is coming to Cleveland. Um, that's a lot of money, man. You're talking about $40 million a year. Baker getting 18. Of course, Baker will be leaving Cleveland if that does happen. If it does come to fruition, Baker will be leaving Cleveland, going to Houston. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if they pull this deal off, you're losing Kareem Hunt also, which I'm not exactly opposed to. What hurts me is the next three first round picks. So basically, you getting rid of 5 players for one guy, and you paying that one player $40 million. You're already paying Amari Cooper $20 million a year. So that's Jarvis was getting 16. You didn't want to pay that, so you're going to come up with $4 more million to pay um, Cooper, which yes,
Well,
I
the question
believe
is,
Cooper's upgrade.
do you think that I think we would have paid it, but seeing that we could have got Cooper, I think it was like you can only have one or the other. You know what I mean?
But I heard today from somebody at work that once they signed Cooper, Jarvis went to his agent said, "I want to restructure my contract. I want to stay in Cleveland." And then Cleveland releases him. It's like
Oh, really?
if he expressed he wanted to stay and restructure, I think you keep him. You got, dude. You're a better team with Jarvis and Cooper than just Cooper.
Oh, absolutely. Two different types of receivers, right?
Now, unless you don't do Deshaun Watson and keep pick 13 and go get one of the receivers in the draft. See, I think it's a catch 22. Okay, you get an elite quarterback, yes. There's always a question of injury. There's a
Hmm.
question of you had a year off. There's going to be rust there. And there's a question of what could you have had. You're salvaging the next 3 years for one person. Then I just got the phone with a buddy of mine that said that the Browns are looking at Von Miller too. Where you got all this money from? You got 23.5 in the cap. What are you doing? Like I don't see it financially working out for any all these people to come here. I don't see it. I really don't. Same baseball. You know what I mean? So you only got a certain
Hmm.
limit of what you can do. Um, would it be nice? Yes. It would be beautiful. Von Miller and oh man, Clowney maybe if he stayed. I think you should go ahead and try to figure out how to keep Clowney here first while. Because I think Clowney
Maybe they
and
know that
Garrett
he's not, and
together,
they know they get that extra money. I don't know.
maybe, they look. If the rumors out there that they are indeed going after Watson and he's interested in coming here, that means there's already been talks.
Mhm.
Talks have already happened, already occurred. I think Deshaun gonna move by Wednesday when it first starts. I think that's happening. You might hear something early tomorrow. You might hear something early tomorrow because all the other look, everybody's dropping names right now about where they're going to go and making it official on Wednesday. So people are talking about is Jarvis going to go team up with Odell Beckham? Well, Odell Beckham ain't got a team right now.
Yeah,
He's out, and who's going to sign him while he's injured? So you might not see
right.
Odell Beckham 23 if you see him at all. I'm sure he'll come back, But where's he going to go? And what's the
So
pay
his
going to be?
injury, was that a recurring injury or is this a new injury? I remember he got hurt. I just didn't
It's a
hear
recurring injury to
exactly
the opposite leg.
what. Oh.
So he tore it again. But I think it's the opposite leg he tore it in. And both times he tore it, it was just like he was kind of airborne. And he just, boom. I don't know, dude. Here's the thing with Odell. He's never really been number one due to injury. He's a diva. He brings drama. His time here in Cleveland was drama filled, but I wouldn't put it all on him. I can't put it all on him because you hear things from a locker room, and you had two. I wouldn't even call them alpha males. You had two cocky guys that were going at it with each other, and Baker and Odell. Baker wanted to be this guy. Odell wanted to be this guy. Instead of look, you gotta put your differences aside and go ahead and say, we got a common goal here, and together we're better than we're apart. That
Hmm.
could have been that could have been an Aaron Rodgers, um, Devontae kind of thing, where they could have
Hmm.
just hooked up and just made it happen. But egos got in the way. You're dealing with Baker, and Baker is, I think Baker's a good guy. I mean, I've talked to him a couple times in person, and he seems like a genuine good human being. But I think his ego gets to him sometimes. And like,
Do you
I
think?
think, what,
So do you think that also you had too many leader like mentalities uh,
too
on
many
the team?
Chiefs.
Because I mean, yeah, because you got quarterback demands to be leader, right?
Hmm.
You've got Odell that wants to be a leader. You got Jarvis who was a leader, right? You've
Yeah.
got Garrett who's a leader, his own way. It's like, do you have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians?
See, Garrett's different.
Oh, he's a different type of leader,
He
I think
just became
altogether.
he just became more vocal. I waited for him
Hmm.
to become vocal this whole time. He just started becoming vocal this year, which is great for the team. Um, See, everybody says it's Baker's team. I don't agree with that. I think it's Garrett's team. I think he's the guy. You got different teams where Green Bay is Aaron Rodgers' team.
Right.
Um, uh, Lamar Jackson, that's his team. Ben Roethlisberger, that was his team. Pittsburgh, that was his team.
All
So
quarterbacks.
yeah, all quarterbacks. But then you got Cleveland, where the face of the team is defensive guy. It's
Hmm.
different, but at the same time, it can happen. But
Hmm.
Cleveland always been the oddball out, the weird, the weird city, the OIC only in Cleveland. There's things like
Hmm.
this happen. Um, Look, I I don't know if this is a good idea for the Cleveland to do this. I really don't. Only because those three draft picks that Houston wants, three first rounders. It's a ton of receivers in this draft coming up that can help us, even with Baker at quarterback. These receivers will make Baker better. Now that you got Cooper, you put a Wilson or a Lavi out there with the Cooper. Come on, man.
Well, here's the question though. I mean, has anyone has it been proven that Baker is a better quarterback with better receivers, or is it just he's not going to be the quarterback that we're expecting him to be, no matter what type of receiver we're putting out there?
I think part of the issue, and I said this earlier to a friend of mine, I said part of the issue with Baker is he's not comfortable in our system. Again, we make jokes about them running five wide and three of the receivers are tight ends. You cannot do that in the NFL. It's tight ends. Linebackers cover tight ends. You're limiting yourself. You're limiting your offense. Open it up. Look, you're going to go five wide, pull a tight end out, put Schwartz out there. He got speed. Have the corner, have him go straight down the field, pull the corner off, pull the safety off. Let's go. Jarvis
I'm
underneath. I
I'm
don't
still
get it.
scared that he can't see over that damn line.
That is an issue too. Huge issue. Don't be if the Browns do not make a move to get Watson. Do not be surprised if in some part of this draft they pick a quarterback.
I
Don't
think
be
they need
shocked.
to. They either need to change their offense and let Baker roll out so he can actually hit his receivers,
He's more
or
comfortable.
if they're going to make him a pocket quarterback, it's just not going to
They
work. You got
can't
to
do
bring
it.
someone else in.
You can't. You can't. You have to let him roll out play action. That's the when Baker is accurate and at his best.
And someone he
He
can see over the line.
he was even drafted because he was so accurate in college. But what was he doing in college? He was rolling out. He wasn't sitting in the
Right.
pocket all day. You ain't Josh Allen sit in the pocket and look over the guys and sink it down the field. You can't do that. You know,
No.
you listen. I've always done this as a coach when I coach football. Is if we had a system we ran, I would adjust that system to fit the talent that I had that year. If I had big linemen and a good running back, we're gonna pound the ball all day on your ass. If I had not such a good line, decent quarterback, and good receivers, I'm throwing the ball. Short, far, in the middle, tight ends, whatever I need to do. Running back out the flat, I'm throwing the ball now. You have to you have to make a system fit the players you have. You have one of the best lines in the NFL when they're healthy. You have two star running backs. They can both be starters in any team out there. You have decent tight ends. Decent. I won't say decent because Joku's hit or miss. He's inconsistent as hell. He could be.
Yeah.
He's a freak. He can make crazy catches, but then he'll drop a ball right in his hand. It's
Yep.
weird.
Yep.
Like I don't know if the pressure's too much for him or something. I've seen him make catches like he just catch that. Then I see him
Yeah.
like butter in his hand or something. It's like, dude, come
Yeah.
on. But they franchise tagged him. I get it. Still waiting to see what they do with Hooper. That's an interesting subject because the rumor is they might try to dump him too, which he's getting paid a buttload of money and he do anything.
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that. I think the draft is going to be so important to these guys if they don't pull the trigger on Watson. If they pull the trigger on Watson, the draft's over. Might as well not even watch it because they're going to draft the way they first pick.
I, I feel like the Browns front office, though, they've surprised me year after year for the last few years. I, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're doing.
I'm gonna roll with that too for now. Um, it's I'm nervous though. I'm nervous. I want to see what this week brings. I really do because what I heard today from a very reliable source is that Watson is coming here. Um, did it sound great on paper? Yes. But what are you giving up? Because
Well,
Houston wants.
the
Houston
Browns
want.
looked good on paper last year, but that didn't work out, you know?
Here's another problem with the Browns. When they look good on paper, the hype is so big for them. I think they get caught in the hype. You
Yeah.
bring Deshaun Watson here and Amari Cooper in here, the hype gonna be off the chain now.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if these guys can handle that kind of stuff, man. It's like it feels like they can't do it. I Brian's saying way too much. Brian, I kind of agree with you on that, man. I think that's a lot. They're giving up five essential players for Deshaun Watson. Like, and you paying him $40 million a year? $40 million a year and five players. That is a lot to ask for. You better win that ring right now. But here's the problem with winning that ring right now. The GOAT has returned.
Yeah.
What is that? Like 2 months off? You like wife at the home? You like, I'm going back to football. I'm out. Bye. Going
I've
back. I'm
heard
going
so
back.
many good jokes. I heard the gas got
Man,
too expensive, so you had to go back to work.
yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. But the rumor was that Crunk was going to Pittsburgh.
Oh,
That was one of the rumors. That would have hurt us really bad. That would have hurt us. Speaking of Pittsburgh, really? So why is another big Ohio player going to Pittsburgh to taunt us? Now, is it like it did Chicago, or all of a sudden get really good and just dog us for another 20 years? So what's the Ohio guys doing Ohio dirty? Think about that. Urban Meyer was in Florida and he beat us in the title. It's crazy. So
yeah.
Trubisky is slated to be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Again, Dwayne Haskins is sitting on the bench again when he took Joe Burrow. It's funny he took Joe Burrow's job. He took Joe Burrow's job down in Columbus, made Joe Burrow move to LSU. Now Joe Burrow in 2 years with Super Bowl, and here this guy is sitting on the bench riding pine.
It just shows you. Well, number one, Ohio State quarterbacks are not NFL quarterbacks. They're historically they've been better wide receivers than they've been NFL quarterbacks.
I remember when Ohio State was old linebacker U, just put out linebackers every time. Now
Yeah,
linebacker play sucks down there.
yeah.
Even D line
The
is
wide.
not that. Since Bosa left, D line hasn't been that good either.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
they're corners and receivers right now. That's what they put out.
Yep,
They put
yep,
out corners and receivers, and that's nothing wrong with that. But it kind of hurts you when you're trying to when you run the ball and they just gash it for 20 yards down the field.
Yeah.
So
I'm not concerned about. Uh, I think Trubisky is not. I think he's a little overrated,
I think so
honestly.
too. I think so too. Um, I mean, local kid, mentor, that's great and everything. Wow, how you really feel, B? How you really feel, B? Mitch sucks. Good luck. Hey, if he sucks and it's with Pittsburgh, I'll take it. I'll take those wins
Hmm.
all day long. I hope he does suck because I don't think what's his name, helmet guy's any good. Mr. Rudolph, Red-Nosed Reindeer. I think he sucks, and we know Haskins sucks. So you got three sorry quarterbacks in that team. So I'll roll with it. Brian, you feeling some way tonight? Brian is chiming in on the show tonight. He's trash with a laughy face. My goodness, how you really feel?
You have to have him on someday.
Hey man, I'm trying. Anytime you want to come on, Brian, you're more than welcome. We talk about wrestling too. We'll get that later in the show though. Um, so what do you think? Would you pull the trigger on that if you had to get Deshaun Watson here in Cleveland? You have Amari Cooper.
And the question is, can we get a better quarterback than him this year?
Uh, Better than Deshaun Watson
Yeah,
for what he's done so far in the league? No, I
and
I I still
I think
want to
that's
go
the
after
issue.
Carr.
If we have certain players on the roster that we need to make a move and be a dominant force within our division now to show that they're worthwhile, we need a quarterback now.
So
I'm not
essentially,
saying they're going
well,
to win anything this year, but the question is, what is we don't really know everyone's worth.
yeah,
How good are our wide receivers if we don't have a good quarterback to throw to them? You know what I'm saying?
that's true. But are we gonna pull the Rams? I think that's the everything I'm seeing right now is set up to be the Rams. Like just get everybody here and just go for it right now. But you got problems out there.
I
Look,
think you need a
never
year to
before.
gel. You know what I mean? I'm used to basketball where you can put the best players on the team. You can have Team USA, but until you can get together and you can gel and you can really fill each other out. I don't know. Maybe football's a little bit different, but I think you need at least another year. You need 1 year to kind of get the core together and really be able to play with each other.
I don't disagree with you whatsoever. Um, Here's the thing though: do we have time to gel? All that money you putting out there.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said, we need about 2 3 years with a solid core, with the same quarterback, with the same head coach,
I
and
think Stefanski's here to stay for a while.
I hope so. Everyone wants to hate on him, but you know what? He's the best coach that we've had in a long time.
I think he makes us not look stupid. He makes some mistakes at times because he is in his second year as a head coach, even though he's been in the
Mhm.
league for a while. Um, I think you got to let it cook, but the window is closing, in my opinion. Now I say this because you got a lot of contracts that's going to be up pretty soon, and you're making some supposed big splashes in trades and free agency. That's going to take up most of that money. You got to pay your Ward. You got to pay. You got to pay Ward. He's one of the best corners in the league. We haven't had a guy that good since dude from Florida. What's his name? Joe.
Hmm.
What's his name again? Forgot his name. Plays
The
for
ones
Pittsburgh now.
out, and yeah,
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
yeah,
That guy. Ain't his fault though. We let him go.
I know, I
What
know.
would you do? What would you do? Would you seriously be like, I can't play for y'all because I played in Cleveland all these years, so I can't play. I can't take millions of dollars to play for you. Hayden, that's it. I can't think of his name. Sorry. I mean, what Joe supposed to do? Now you hating on
Yeah,
Joe Hayden because he went to Pittsburgh, but at the same time, you let him go.
yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Just come on the show, Brian. Start playing. Jesus Christ.
I'll send
God.
you the link now.
Change the link. You jump in right now, dude. Let's go. Anyways, dude, I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. I've been battling. I've been battling with this all day in my head. I wanted to come on the podcast and I wanted to say if I would make this move or not. I would not make this move.
I think we need to. I
Five
think we need
people.
to.
5 people.
I think we need to. I mean, this is what we're going to do. Another year of Baker and then be without a quarterback. No quarterback.
That's what I'm thinking. They go draft a quarterback. They go draft a quarterback somewhere.
But the problem is that, you know, there's no guarantee on quarterbacks, especially in a draft, you know? So we can bring in a stud from college and it doesn't mean that they're good in the NFL. It's one of those positions where I don't think it's a crapshoot. And I think that we need to probably bank on something that we know is at least decent, like I said, to even evaluate the rest of our players. That's my opinion on it.
So as GM, you give up 3 picks, Baker and Hunt for Watson, and pay him
If
40 million a year.
if we can't get enough, I mean, obviously, I'd rather have a different option. But I mean, honestly, do you don't think that for the last few years have been looking for another player other than Baker? I mean, they say tell the media
Absolutely.
Baker's my guy, but you don't think they've been looking for the last few years?
That's bull crap. They've been looking.
Right.
The fact that what we're talking about right now has smoke to it tells you they've been looking, and
Hmm.
it's getting back to Baker
Yeah.
because we talking about it. Baker already heard about it, so it might be already done deal where Baker going back to Texas, which ain't a bad thing because he's from Texas. So
Right. Right.
listen, it works out for Baker. He goes in there, goes to Texas, gets to prove himself all over again. Maybe he becomes a hero down there. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'd be
Now,
good for him.
one thing to bring up about Stefanski is I'm really disappointed that he won't give up the play calling. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's another issue we have. I mean, why you got this guy on your team as offense coordinator and you won't let him call any plays? He just sit
Right.
there and practice and go through practice calling plays. I don't get that.
I
And
don't
is he still
understand
with
it.
the team? He's still with the team, correct? The offensive coordinator. So I heard he
I
was
think
looking at
so.
college.
But it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I really don't, especially if, you're making mistakes as a head coach. I mean, you're already juggling two jobs.
It's too
Like,
much.
why don't you? And also, as a leader, you should be trusting your coaches. And I don't
Yeah,
understand. I don't. Is it a trust thing? He doesn't trust that someone's going to be, calling the right plays. I don't get it.
some guys can do that in the league. They've done it before. I've seen it happen. Some guys at the high school level can do it. I had trouble with it. I did it, but it was a lot because I was missing other things. I was defense coordinator and head coach,
Mhm.
and I'm calling defense, and the offense comes off the field, but I got to address the offense, what they did wrong. I can't do that calling plays. So I had to
Right.
trust my coach to do that. But if it was something where me and coach wasn't vibing that day, where I felt like the offense should do something totally different, and he had his own game plan set up to what they can do, I don't know what he's saying in the offense right now. So I got to wait
Right.
till special teams or whatever to what you talk about. One play, they kick the ball back on offense. That ain't what I wanted to run. I wanted to go with this personnel or that personnel or him and tail back. And then I got to make a move and get him in the game, and it's all messed up from that point on. So I think it's easier if you just become the head coach and let your offense coach offense, defense coach defense. That way you got less to worry about. You can manage the whole game that way. But when you try to manage a certain side of the ball and the whole game, it becomes more difficult.
Right. I mean, you're picking your coaches. You pick uh, the offensive coach that
You,
runs the plays that you want, that runs the style you run.
you
Like, I don't get
hired the
it.
man. You hired him for a
Right.
reason.
Right.
You can just pay him to do nothing. If that's the case, sign me up.
Right.
I'll be defense coordinator for the Browns and not do anything. Of course, all day. I don't. It just don't make no sense how they do this. Give away free money. Makes no sense at all. Can move on a little bit here. We're gonna do a little short episode tonight. In the wrestling world, we have very sad news that the bad guy Reza Ramon is either he is past. Brian, did he pass yet, or is he still with us on life support? Last I heard, he was on life support still, and he
Damn.
hadn't passed yet. I think he went in for a hip surgery and had 3 heart attacks,
Wow.
and so he's on life support right now. Kevin Nash, Big Daddy Cool, sent out a big heartfelt message earlier today. Yep, he passed. Okay, Brian said he did pass. They took the life support off. So Raw should be very interesting tonight when they come on. That on Monday Night Raw. So Kevin Nash said earlier that he was gonna. They wait for the family to get there so they can pull the plug on him. But 3 heart attacks, dude. I mean, a lot of that stuff, man. Vince McMahon's gonna burn in hell, man. A lot of wrestlers died from heart problems because all the stuff he put them through in the 80s, early 90s with those steroids and stuff, man. I mean, Triple H had heart problems, and he hasn't been seen on TV since. Nobody's diagnosing what he actually had. They say it was cardiac related, and he hasn't been producing or being anywhere near TV. I think he did a thing for Special Olympics where he read a promo for Special Olympics a couple months ago, and he looked horrible. Like Triple H always, in even older, looked like he's in shape. He looked good. His eyes were saggy. His skin looked pale. It was like Vince killed all these dudes, man. For what? For what? Because a lot of these guys from back in the day are broke right now. You know, I mean, only ones really got some money coming in is apparently he had a hip replacement, a blood clot got loose, and he had Jesus 3 heart attacks. Wow, um, that's tough, man. That's tough. I think he was like 63 years old, something like that. I mean, you still got a ways to go. 63, you still got a lot of life ahead of you, you know. So he struggled with a lot of problems that came to light after he left WWE when he went to WCW, and a lot of substance abuse, I guess, along with supposedly the steroids. So they tried to get him clean, and I think he did get clean eventually, but all that damage and wear and tear on your body, man, catch up with you down the road.
Mhm.
So the wrestling world tonight will probably be mourning Scott Hall, the bad guy, Razor Ramon, which goes down as probably one of my favorite characters of all time, man. I mean, dude played that character for real. I thought he was Spanish. I didn't know he was. I didn't know that dude was a regular white dude, man. I thought that dude was straight up Spanish from like Puerto Rico or something. He had the hey, I'm the
He had the
bad guy.
Jerry curl
Like,
thing
yeah,
going
he had the
on,
curls, the toothpick.
and
That there's that Ramon. I'm the bad guy. It was great. Like some of these guys should like he said, I'm the bad guy. A lot of these characters that we see in wrestling, some of them shouldn't be good guys. Like I hate Randy Orton as a good guy right now. I think I even tweeted that to him a couple weeks ago. Like I tweeted at Randy Orton, like I hate you as a face. Become a heel. Turn. Just go. I like you bad. You're better as a bad guy. Stone Cold was the edgy face where he was a good guy, but he did bad guy stuff, which was great for him. And he's probably one of the only ones able to pull that off. But I think
right.
he's trying to build Roman to do that right now, which I don't like. I think Roman should stay as a bad guy and call it a day. He's great doing that. Um, but we're gonna see later on. I want to watch Raw. I don't even watch Raw anymore like I used to. Honestly, I don't. It's just not. It's so predictable now. But I
Mhm.
think I still watch it because the kid in me still loves to see the matches and stuff. And then Big E last week took a really really bad bump where he broke his neck. Like he literally did a belly to belly suplex, and the guy got him on the outside of the ring, belly to belly, flipped him over, and he landed like really on the crown of his head. Big E's a big dude, and he literally landed right there. And that mat is about that thick, maybe, under there is cement. So he hit his head on that cement, and his body kind of slid, and he was just frozen. So the camera's kind of angled away from him a little bit, and you can see the Pat McAfee, who is my favorite announcer of all times in WWE. That guy is hilarious, full of energy. I love when he's on there. The look on his face was a look of, oh damn, because he played football, so he's seen that before on a football field. You know what I mean? He played what was he a kicker for the Colts, I believe, and he's seen that firsthand. And I probably had a flashback of football when he saw that, and he was just frozen, like he wasn't talking. And usually he's like, he just shut up real quick and was looking at Big E like, oh my god, like I want to go help him, but I can't on the camera. So I'm pretty sure in the commercial he got over there and went over to help him, whatever. But Big E sent a message out last week after it happened, like an hour later, moving his fingers around, saying, "Hey, I'm good. Just got a broken neck. It's a C1 to C4 or something like that." Yeah, and they already talking about when he coming back. I'm like, coming back? How am I
Nope.
coming back?
Nope.
Bye. I got some money.
Nope.
I'll do commercials. I'll do some reading for you.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go back. I would not
Mm-mm.
go back. I'm good.
Nope.
You broke his neck. He broke his neck. He could have died right there on live TV. I'm not going to wrestle again. I'm sorry. Goodbye. I will
Yep.
do voiceovers. I'll be a manager. I work behind the scenes.
Exactly.
I'm not putting them damn straps back on. Talking about it's a new day, y'all. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's an old day. Goodbye. I'm done. That's
Yep.
just me. I spring a finger. I'm probably gonna quit wrestling. Excuse me. My finger messed up. I'm done. I'm gonna be an
Yep.
announcer. I'm cool,
Yep.
man. It ain't worth your life, my dude. Like, there's other ways to make money out there, and I'm not gonna sit there and just sacrifice the rest of my life for that. It's not happening. Mm. Let's talk about. Our Cleveland Cavaliers. I had a bad feeling about this, and my feeling was correct. I thought they would come back after the All Star break and struggle, and they have.
Hmm.
Well, actually, they're winning right now while I'm talking stuff about them. They're playing the Clippers right now. It is 10:48 left in the fourth quarter. They are winning 91-85. Clippers are currently 36-34. The Cavaliers are 38-29. I think the Cavs got about I saw it the other day. I want to say 15 games left. I still think it's possible the Cavs win 50 games, but it's looking more like 45, 46 right now to me. I think that I think that they still stand a chance, but right now it's really scary because so you got the six spots right here, and they're 38-29. Toronto is 37-30, right under the Cavs for that seventh spot. So the Cavs keep losing, they're gonna be in the seventh spot and have to be in the play-in game, which I don't want. I want them in the top six. That way they got to work with the play-in game. That play-in game will be the game that they go out here and lose that game and be done for the season. I don't want that to happen. They are 6 games out of first place. They're 2 games behind Boston for the fifth spot, 3 games behind Chicago for the third spot, and 4 games Milwaukee for the third spot. Before the All Star break, the Cavs were in second place, like literally a game and a half or a game out of first place, and now we are sitting 6 games out. We've lost 2 in a row. Last 10 games, we are 3-7.
Yeah, looking
Ouch.
at the injury report, I mean, we got D Wade, the new D Wade
Yeah.
is out. We got Rondo out.
Rondo's
Man,
still out.
Jaron Allen is out with a finger. They thinking into the rest of the regular season, and that's going to hurt. And then
That
of
that's
course
that's
you still
tough.
got Colin Sexton out.
Is Garland playing tonight?
I think he's back. I think
Garland should be back. Garland should be back. Let's see here. I mean, Kevin Love is out here balling right now. The Cavs still okay. They're still scoring. So see the thing is the Cavs can beat some of these teams right here. I think the bulk of the
they had some close games in this past week that we should have won.
yes,
Just couldn't get balls in the basket. We've had some games we just not putting it together, but it's been because of we're missing some key players.
we are missing key players. All right, so let's
Yeah, Brian
see
was talking about he's finally back. He was out after the All Star game. Yeah, I agree that it really hurt having Garland out. I think he's really our floor general. I still I wasn't too big of a fan of Rondo coming on the team. I just don't feel like he's the floor general. We need Garland. I think has really filled that spot for us.
considering
Uh-oh, looked like TJ may have fell out here. We'll wait for him to reply. Oh, here we go. He's loading back in, and there you are.
you got me. Okay,
Yep.
I kept talking the whole time, so I don't know if that went on a record or not. I just kept talking. Um, the Heat is a problem because we have
Yeah.
beat them. 117-105, they beat us, and then we followed up with the Bulls right away. Next day, 101-91. Now we're currently playing the Clippers, and we are winning that game with 8 minutes 39 seconds to go. So here we are again. You turn around and you got Philadelphia again. So play them better this time or lose to them again. See, that's the thing we got to worry about. But you got the Nuggets coming up. They're a good team. Pistons. We should beat the Pistons, but we haven't beat the Pistons. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Detroit is a problem for us right now. Then you got LeBron. You got LeBron. Then you got Toronto and the Bulls again. The Magic, Dallas, and the Hawks in the month out. Then you got 5 games in April, which are the Knicks, 76ers again, Orlando, the Nets, and the Bucks. That's tough. That's tough with key players out. Fully healthy, I give us a fighting chance. With these guys out, we need Toronto to lose some games for us to keep that sixth spot. Because right now it's looking at the Cavaliers. If they can stay afloat, will be in the sixth spot.
Right.
That play-in game worries me. If they go to 7 or 8, I'm worried about that because I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. So we keep an eye on the Cavaliers, see what they're going to do with that. Because at this point right now, I'm really worried that they're going to wind up in a playing game. Because okay, you're playing teams as it stands right now today. It's Toronto at 7, Brooklyn at 8, Atlanta at 9, and Charlotte at 10. All teams we still got to play.
Hmm.
So you play Toronto, you got to beat them. That helps you. Brooklyn, you got to beat them. That helps you. They got fined too, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Atlanta and
did.
Charlotte, you got to play them because
Kyrie was in the locker room.
stop it, stop it.
But you got
Listen,
a lot of players now coming and saying this really doesn't make much sense.
this is why it doesn't make sense to me. You can't come in there because you're not vaccinated. Do you really believe everybody at the Super Bowl is vaccinated? Do you believe the performers were all vaccinated? The dancers were all vaccinated. The referees were all vaccinated. The cheerleaders, the camera crew were all vaccinated. I
The
have no
hot
doubt
dog
everybody
man.
was vaccinated. Thank you. They packed that stadium with people that probably were not vaccinated. The numbers have not gone up. You pack arenas every night in basketball. The numbers have not gone up. The numbers have gotten so low now, National Guard has gone home. The schools are getting rid of mask mandates. Businesses are getting rid of mask mandates. But Kyrie can't play basketball? It make it make sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You got that arena full of people playing, watching them play basketball in the Barclays Center, but your star player can't play in the city, but he can sit in the stands. Then he goes to the locker room. You can't go in the locker room, huh? I'm sitting with the coach, and I'm right here behind the bench, sitting here.
Well, he's already not getting paid for it, right?
But you're playing away games, so you're in the locker room during away games with your team. So
Hmm.
you got an away game in Cleveland,
You got to be on the bus, right?
and you're in the locker room. I think you got to travel away from the bus. I think
Or does he?
I honestly heard the other day that major league players that are not vaccinated can't travel with the team.
That sounds like a plus. I get my own ch- flight.
What are we doing? But hey, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna pack the ballpark with people that's probably not vaccinated too. But you can still get it with the vaccination. So can we just let people do what they want to do? If they want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't, you don't. The numbers are. It's not saying it's gone, but it's to the point where, look, we used to get daily reports about people in our system that had it. I saw numbers as high as 32 one time. 32 cases. Holy crap, we're gonna die. Then it was like 25 cases. Oh my god, we're gonna die. Then it was like last week. It was like COVID update. One person. Damn, one person. Next week, one person. Following week, COVID update. Zero. But we're all together in the building with no mask on. How's that? What do you mean zero? What do you mean? Come on, man. And not everybody's vaccinated. Some people are, some people aren't. So it's I don't understand what the thing is about what they're doing because you're packing the arenas, you're packing the stadiums. Hockey's packed. Nobody else is getting sick right now. Not on a grand scale where you got shut down hospitals, shut down business, stuff like that. It's not.
Have you heard anything from the Players Association on this recently? I mean, I know the Players Association was pro, everyone masked, everyone vaccinated at first, but I wonder if
Yes,
they've kind of changed their tune now.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything new about that. I know the NFL has stopped testing. Um, the NFL is pretty much like this. Are we done? The NFL is
Mhm.
pretty much we're done with it. After Super Bowl, we're done with it. Like they're not even gonna. Basically, if you ain't sitting there coughing with the flu or throwing up something like that, they ain't even gonna test you. They're done.
Right. Yeah.
So NFL is coming aboard. So I think the NBA be next. I think the mayor of, I believe the mayor of New York is supposed to lift that mandate soon. There was talk about the other day that Kanye That Kyrie, I know that's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother show right there about what he's doing right now. Oh my god,
So what arena is he living in now?
dude, he is tripping right now, bro. Have you seen what he been doing?
Oh yeah.
Dressing up in the dressing up in
When he,
the
but when he also like he was living in the Mercedes Benz arena for a month doing a record, and he was going to
yes,
games, and he's like, "I'm about to go back downstairs to my room," and like he
yes.
was staying in like a blow up bed in like a little tiny closet,
Then he was at Kim's house dressed in like
the one of those weird outfits.
no. It was the stuff you wear in the jungle, like when you sniping, like the
Oh,
whole outfit, like
a ghillie suit, a
a
ghillie
tree
suit.
outfit. Yeah, he was doing that. Then he got into a Pete. Is it Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson.
He got into a him, and Pete Davidson was trying to genuinely reach out to the dude and be like, "Look, man, like you got some issues. Let me help you. I have mental issues too. Let me help you." It's like, I think you'd be a great dad to the kids. Like you tripping right now. Like, and Kanye was like, I guess Pete Davidson was like, "Hey, man, the f up." Kanye was like, "Oh, you cussing now? Where you at?" Pete Davidson sent a
He's,
picture of him in the bed. It's I'm in bed with your wife, bruh. I lost it. I lost it. And he,
he's
you know that smile, that smile he does, like the goofy, like he said, "In bed with your wife." I'm just like,
gonna end up dead.
Kanye ain't no thug though, man. Kanye soft. But then he got into a DL Hughley. He threatened
I
DL
didn't hear
Hughley.
about that. I didn't hear
Man,
about
you
that.
gotta look it up. It's so hilarious. DL Hughley wrote him. No, he was like, "Look, man, DL Hughley come from Chicago, where his
Mhm.
family kind of get beat up. Oh, stop. You got beef with Pete Davidson and what's his name? You're gonna be beat up by one of them. Stop it, Kanye. Just chill, man."
I
She's
find it funny just googling all of his weird ass masks and
mm-mm.
outfits he wears, thinking he can walk around town and people don't know by his swagger that that ain't Kanye.
Man, look, he need to stop. He really does, because he's doing too much. Um, and I'm worried about the kid. Seriously, he got
Yeah.
some issues. It's just bad. But I know I rambled off with Kanye and Kanye and Kyrie. They both crazy though a little bit though, man. It's a little bit. It's a little bit.
Now they say
But a lot of
geniuses are, sometimes got a couple other screws loose.
you know what though, um, some of the stuff that Kanye, not Kanye, but Kyrie said is eh, make you think a little
And
bit.
to a
I don't agree with
certain
it. Make you think.
extent, I think that I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that I think sometimes he just says stuff to get a rise out of the media. I think
I
the
think so
flat
too.
earther, I think that was all just a ruse, just like, yeah, okay. Like
We're surrounded by a wall of ice.
I I just gotta
So
assume that he's
do
just playing
astronauts
them.
go around the ice when they come back to Earth? I mean, just oh my bad. We never went out of space. We didn't go nowhere out of space. I mean,
No,
who
that
knows,
was a set.
dude? It's there's so much out there going on in the world, man. All right, we're gonna cut it short tonight. We're gonna wrap it up with this. So we discussed free agent frenzy, man. Next week should be a lot more news and free agency, a lot different stuff going on. Teams get to sign their players on Wednesday, so next Monday we'll come back and we will discuss and break it all down.
See if the Browns can
And
have a new quarterback.
if they do that, man, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. All right, Lewis, I appreciate you stepping in for Scott, man. Wouldn't be Show would not be nothing without you, man. Appreciate everything you do for us, really do.
Yeah, no worries,
So
man.
until next week, I'm TJ and that's Lewis, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.
See ya.